and that this is the evidence. However, it's expired, but I have paid and I can't pay twice for it and stuff like that. Long story short, my people, I spent an hour, 5 minutes with the VIO when the area commander eventually came and the result and told me to leave because I told them, I have a share to run back to, and I have paid. The document is with Rosemary as the proof of the driver's license that I paid for. However, we're having a 2 days difference. They just to hand me my driver's license, call made and resolved. For me to replace now, give me my original. You know how people say photocopy? I had a taxi driver once say he likes to copy in his vehicle and wasting his time, he will just zoom off. He has the original. But somehow, I always have the original in my vehicle. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I today it's not really a good thing, actually. Perhaps future, I'll have the photocopy. It would have saved me all. So, where is Officer Rosemary with the paper? They said, Mr. Beatrice, one VI officer office. It took 100 minutes to find my original document, my vehicle document. And somehow, Rosemary's number was not going through enough. Say, okay, who did you give it to drop with it? So I didn't think it was right for me to drive with officers all over the place to start. Okay, even though this driver's license slip has expired by 2 days, but my cool paper is with one vehicle. Rosemary who didn't send it to the command office. It was just too much story. And I was waiting. And I saw that time was running fast. I had to speak to officers there, the senior officers, to say, I need to run. And somehow I drove without any of this document today. I had to do express because VIO people all over Guarim to start explaining to them that Oga has given you to go and they will look for it tomorrow. Long story. But, it's the system that just rubbed me off the wrong way. The fact that in less than 30 minutes of booking me, you couldn't find the original document that I gave to you. And they say, you know where it is. It's in one officer's state. And then you're not there. And I don't think it's really fair for that level of time to happen. And, between driving from there to here is another time. So that is why I'm late. I am very, very sorry about it. Way out of my enjoyment. And if you're streaming, you're like, why is it like this? I was even thinking I was going to have enough to touch up before we go live. But my apology, aside from you, is to my guest, Mr. Bode Gbadebo. He's a journalist. He's with the newspaper, a renowned public affairs analyst. I am sincerely sorry. I know you've been here since above the hour.
Yeah. And this kind of unpleasant experiences happen to time. So it's one of those things.
Thank you very much for your understanding. I totally appreciate keeping you here, dragging you for this to wait while all this was happening. Sincerely apologize. Hope my apologies are accepted. That's Kayamo's own. Everybody, I've accepted.
So who am I?
All right, you all for your understanding. Let's go on a very break and we'll be back to start off the roundtable. I'm really want you could stay with 95 to Nigeria. And please, anyone who knows VI officer Rosemary, tell her to please take my paper to the office so that I can pick it up tomorrow. Thank you very much. My name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts. And I bring you the biggest stories, having conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria for Hard Facts Show. I love to get your opinion, conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute. Here, Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
You all those who left their comments on Facebook and WhatsApp, guys, I see you and I appreciate kind words. Kim, good afternoon. Please, how is the new driver's license now? Thank you very much. And I'm sorry for what just happened. Ruth, thank you very much. Your guest mic is off. Yes, we've resolved that. If you notice, if you're live on YouTube and Facebook, guest is sitting to me now to address the mic issue. I actually have a hack with regards to road safety and VR. I can give you if you want. No, I don't want a hack. Legit way of doing things. Thank you very much. Obedient man, Emeka, thank you, madam. Your mic, you don't explain tire. I explain, no evidence. According to boy, I rest my case. All right, let's get into the business of the day. And to start with Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the burning topic for us right now. Yeah. And we know that ECOWAS is meeting today. Yes, deliberations as to what happens. We know that a lot of Nigerians are saying, let's not engage them militarily. Whatever diplomacy avenue is there, let's explore. But let's not engage militarily. Given the fact that it seemed like popular situation. The people on this, not all of them, because sometimes a person can be wrong. You would think as the generality,
The people.
Nigerian populace that embrace it.
involved
Definitely
of
will
the
be people,
coupists.
who will be saying, "Not like this, we do not welcome it." However, not
We've
want
not
a
seen
military.
opposition again against this so far.
That's interesting. It's right.
What we have seen so far is endorsement by Nigerian, so you can take that to represent the majority
Yeah.
of the people.
I watched an interview, and some of the people there were, as much as we do not even support this, but we do want a military intervention or incursion. Or
Yeah, sure.
that is definitely not to resolving
in
all
this
of
age and time, it's unconstitutional. Of course, people should also decide who their leaders should be.
But how do you see this playing? Because one thing is, people will say you need to interact this process. And yesterday we were talking with our guests who were talking that you need to fix democracy and make it work. But with the Niger situation as it stands, and they've set up they've appointed ministers,
Today,
moving things
so they've
along.
consolidated,
Yeah.
despite threats, from international unity, despite threats from ECOWAS, they don't seem to give it down. They are consolidating on power, actually forming a government.
By actually forming government. So what should happen next, particularly with the ECOWAS regional bloc? Because it feels like the West world is looking towards the ECOWAS to deal with this. But it doesn't look like there's an external influence that has no business intervening in what's going on there. Yes, you saw the military base by the US in Niger Republic. That's an interest they have there. France, they are colonizer. There's pretty much a stronghold in terms of control of the region.
Yeah, sure.
But the ECOWAS, about the regional bloc,
Exactly.
that has certain protocols and tied together.
Exactly.
And the world is looking at, all right, let's see what you do next. Pressures are coming from different quarters. Engage, do not engage, dialogue, and all of. What would be the best move for us, in your opinion, to addressing this situation?
Yeah, I think it will be dialogue, diplomacy. You can never overtalk peace, but you can overfight a war, with their consequences. So you can never overtalk. So already, ECOWAS is facing a dilemma. Because I'm speaking from journalistic point of view. Now, if this coup is allowed, there will be a lot of consequences for ECOWAS. Happen somewhere next, because we have nothing to do.
Yeah.
ECOWAS is trying to save its face, save its name. It has happened before. ECOWAS was helpless. Remember
Yes.
Burkina Faso, Guinea.
Guinea, yeah.
I saying, see, ECOWAS, you don't have the kind of power you used to have in the 90s. When then there was a standing force on ECOWAS called ECOMOG to restore democracy in Liberia, Syria alone.
Yeah.
In the 90s. But now that ECOWAS is not the same ECOWAS we are having now. So there is a kind of dilemma. What do we do? Do we allow this? Because from popular, the popular view don't employ military.
Yeah.
But then ECOWAS is helpless without a military force to also want to fight the people, probably chase them out of the country to bring back President Mohamed Bazoum. Now there is popular opposition. Nigerians are against it. Nigerians are also against it. And you know the reason. The reasons are fetched because we have 5
bothering them. I know the president met with the governors of this state
on Sunday.
Yeah.
People of those 5 states are also culturally, historically related with the Nigerians part of the country. You understand? So they believe if anything to Nigeria, there will be humanitarian crisis, which will also affect Syria. And there is a misconception already. Some persons are even insulting Tinubu, thinking it's Tinubu or Nigeria that want to attack Nigeria. Forgetting that, no, ECOWAS, not Nigeria. Just that, or incidentally, Tinubu happens to be the chairman of ECOWAS. And of course, by virtue of chairman of ECOWAS and president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is the arrowhead in the implementation of the resolutions of ECOWAS. Now, the ultimatum from the first had elapsed.
Yeah.
They met, fortunately, feedback from the meeting today in Abuja is that in his capacity as a chairman authority of heads of state and of ECOWAS is now calling for truce. Let's resolve this thing amicably because military action is unpopular. Again, there are Nigerians who are saying, Nigerians who are not from the north too. Nigerians not are against it because of the consequences that might, come their way.
There's a lot of things. Look at so many scenarios.
Exactly, a lot of things. Nigerians who are not even from this part of the country, others are even saying, what should be the problem? That is, should Nigeria be a problem? We have problems already on our hands. The socio-economic challenges of them, you've not fixed them, then you want to get yourself entangled. Another one. So Tinubu himself is in a kind of a fix, The best thing the best from journalistic point of view is there. And even foreign experts, diplomatic experts have also said, yes, I said, deploy best way. Dialogue. Yesterday, Kano was there. Mm-hmm. He said personal contact to reach out to the leaders, and he met with them. And he came back yesterday, met with Tinubu. Okay, this is what is on ground. We continue to engage with these people. Then his leader in Nigeria also met Tinubu yesterday to see. No, look at that dimension again. Islamic leaders, they meet Tinubu and say, please give us permission to engage with these people. So the whole thing is taking kind of dimension. A few ago, Christian Association of Nigeria, the national leadership also issued a statement telling ECOWAS, telling Nigeria, which is not to back on the path of war, to also employ dialogue.
From the rest
so dialogue.
From Niger, within Nigeria also is sinking in. Andrew Ngilali, the president, he says, well, even though this is not off table, however, we're exploring options of addressing it with more of the part of the diplomacy aspect of it, which is a lot. To save resources, to save life, to save a lot of collateral damage could happen if you decide to engage.
I just remember something. Let me add it very, very truth. A coup in Nigeria coming to stay, we also know that a coup is possible anywhere in the sub-region.
Well, that's what it means.
And Nigeria excluded. Before the Nigeria, I concluded in my mind that, there can never be coup in Nigeria. It will be popular. It will not be accepted. Because Nigeria obviously had been part of, peace to democracy elsewhere. Yeah. Remember under Obasanjo, I can't remember the year when the president of ECOWAS, the president of Sakome and PCP, in Africa, came to Nigeria to visit President Obasanjo. Here, the military there announced change of government. And just viewed that as an insult. You can't do that. This supposed we go back as the president of South sent our troops there, and the man was restored. In West Africa, we are also helped to restore them. So I told you when there used to be ECOMOG, that's the standing force of ECOWAS. Now, I believe, it can't happen since Nigeria was Arrowhead's peace mission. It's like when you have a compound, neighbors, families who are eating husband and wife, and your own family is both carrying peace. Them, So whenever you have issue in your own home, you want people to know, because it will be that you that have been going to house to broker peace, now fight your husband or your husband fighting you. But now, this thing is getting too close for comfort.
I know that this is a conversation we're having for a while. Particularly we had that of Mali interrogating what really is going on in Africa, particularly West Africa. I know Sudan, different case altogether because it's perhaps not in the region. But then you're seeing what is happening, and it seems like a wildfire.
We blame weak institutions.
Institutions, it's starting with the Francophone, but you're saying that it is possible
coming close, even in the Anglophone. It may come to the phone because we are related. We are close to each other. And what do I mean? Democratic leaders are even the ones cause coups to happen. Observing rule of law. We are practicing democracy. There are no rule of law. Of course, you are holding the soldiers in the barrack to have reason to take over government when there is no rule of law. When it's rule of thumb, things are just happening right down. Look at Nigeria. I think they say they read out some against President Bazoum. When you have a democracy, there is corruption. No rule of law. People are doing what they like, and the rest of them weak. You now have strong individuals. Of course, the jackboots may become the barrack guys may have reason to come and say, okay, we are taking over. We want to restore this country back to paths of growth, development, and sanity.
Well, but as much sometimes you want this self-correct. I'm going to take back, our history also.
I'm going to take heed in this instance.
We've experienced it ourselves up until 1999, where we've had this uninterrupted democracy. And the reason why we've had a military at one point hijack government is reason stated, and the same reason that perhaps in Niger Republic, inefficiency, corruption. We had Shagari. These people removed and it was corruption. Aside from the other
appointed William, he was removed.
There are a lot of things. Ours has several undertones. Regional power interplay, corruption allegation, quite a number of things. But we wouldn't say it's significantly moved Nigeria anywhere in terms of how we've grown, the trajectory of our growth as a country. So the fear is, even people, some people are subtly clamoring, maybe, just maybe. But you also look at the drawback this will bring to a nation when their system is hijacked. I don't know.
Of course, political instability has a lot of consequences because it will amount to time, resources, and so it's like a drawback. It's a drawback. Anyway.
The sanctions also that will come from foreign countries.
In some cases or nations, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. So Nigeria has heed. Nigeria must learn from Nigerian experience. We must look into our electoral process. We must gain power through legitimate. When there are legitimate crises, crisis of legitimacy all the time, these are also triggers for military to come to say they want to take over. We must address our electoral so that there won't be...
And such an area we're still struggling.
Exactly. Trigger is a trigger for military. Oh, since you are fighting over, okay, we want to come here and take everybody can arrest. It's a trigger. Look at our electoral system and the need to observe the rule of law.
It has to correct itself.
Look at how we're being arrested. We release their offense, but when they get to court, offense will be filed against them. Yeah. When the court of law now say, okay, we've heard you, we will listen to the case. They are to bail according to the provisions of the law, allowed to enjoy bail. No, our government will say, no, courts, that's your own. We have the gun. They cannot observe the rule of law. These are also triggers. These are triggers.
Indeed, they are triggers, so to watch ourselves before we wreck ourselves. That's for the entire region.
And remember the part saying that when the house of your neighbor is there, try to quickly get water close to yourself.
Indeed. And so Kuram, sorry about what happened. Thank you very much for Lokpa. Very soon we're going to use photo number plate. There were a lot of people with number plate issues there. So if yours has fed, better go and spray paint it so that it looks faded. Unless you end up there. And Antigen informed says African leaders want democracy, but they hate free and fair election. African leaders want democracy, but rule of law. African leaders want democracy. They hate prosperity to the masses. They want democracy. You must take election governance very serious, which is something that you hate. I know to even take us to setting constitutions and charters. We're looking at ACDEG, the African Charter for Democracy, Election and Governance, saying that these are some of the critical pillars that in having a flourishing democracy, your electoral process.
Yeah, and you know,
of law, gender equality.
Yeah, you're right. There is a kind of hypocrisy or double standard in the whole of this. Now, the mentions are there in black and white. We are subscribers to them. But when there is a need to be held accountable, we now say, no country, no organization should interfere in the internal affairs of a country. But they give you aids. When you donate for those exercises, you collect them.
You know, it's like when you brought this one, Bode, because yesterday I was having a not on radio with a friend, and we're looking at World Bank saying they're going to withhold aid to Uganda, or not aid, as a matter of fact, financing,
over the same-sex...
over the legislation in Uganda about LGBTQ, same-sex marriage, whatever right. And they said they have reflected on their policy and decided that this law that this country has is anti their internal policy, and so no more finance. And then we start talking about, where this line is drawn beyond you as a country, your own sovereignty, capacity to make rules, and then the foreign intervention. The truth is, as long as you're a member, continue to support.
Cap in hand money. Exactly.
They will come with their own position.
Exactly.
This is not in line.
And they want to enforce it. So you have no choice. Or you stop enjoying anything from them.
It's either you say you are pulling out of the World Bank, Uganda, because by legislation, or you relax it a little and comply, and then get...
But I don't want to blame Uganda for...
But they have a right to decide
what they want. As a country, sovereign country, matter. I think it's also important with most of these...
But aren't we the most vulnerable, like countries that lean so heavily? It takes more than we give.
That is the challenge. And it's high time we start to think out of the box to actually develop ourselves by ourselves.
Indeed.
In our own
interest.
Yes, exactly.
Because there are already power players who have a bigger interest. And that will take us to this next story. But
right.
The United States has said China has to influence the Nigerian government through Chinese loans. And they put out a statement, the Integrated Country Strategies document by the U.S. Department of, which was obtained. The document was only approved on the 6th of April 2022, was reviewed and updated on the 23rd of 2023. And according to the document, China offered subprime financing for infrastructural projects in the country. The Corporate Finance Institute described subprime loan as a loan offered to individuals at an interest rate above prime, who do not qualify for conventional loan. And the document, I will not bore the detail of it, you can read it up in the Punch newspaper, but the language of it is that you're giving these people, you're influencing them with this, giving them loan that you feel like you qualify for, but lowering the VAT degree so that they can have access to it. You know that China does not wade into your politics. They are more about the economy.
Business.
It's a great gift. I give you something in return. We bring our expatriate, bring our material, we bring it, we build this, and over a period of time you repay us. They are taking over Africa. I went to the Republic some years back. The number of Chinese from the plane that I control, what is going on? You go to Ethiopia, you go east, south,
they are
Central
responsible
Africa,
for infrastructure development in that country.
in the continent. Apparently, in line with their 100-year plan of becoming the global superpower, I have taken quite an interest in their 100-year plan of world dominance. And it's admirable, the consistency they have. And they need to spend money to get that relevance. People are looking to the east to saying China is vacant. It's a subtle threat, even in parts like the US and some Western countries. Okay, if you do not go with our inclusive policy, we will not give you money.
I know you know about the age-long code between the Americas, between the US and China. And of course, this is an extension of the Cold War. And it's not just starting today. Of course, it has been raising alarm as to the gravity of China's aids to develop world. And the fear is that, by the time these people are allowed to take care of these countries, no longer listen to us, it's like the case of the one who pays the piper is the one who dictates. So they believe if China is the one giving them everything, they will listen to China, no longer listen to us. And like you say, China does not get enmeshed in the internal affairs, beneficiary countries.
China cannot come and say, no. Legislation.
Just business. Look at our infrastructure. China was responsible, %. That's what, in fact, East Africa. China, see the landmark or the nature you see is China. Yeah. Everything is China. That has been a threat to the United States. So what I will tell you is it's not new and it's not start today. It's for long because of the Cold War between the US and China. You know the supremacy tussle.
Yeah.
Who is the number one world power and who is not? And of course, Africa is now the testing ground. They are not in their might, of course, on the African soil. Yeah. Well, the developing world, because of lack of capacity, lack of financial resources, we will continue to look the east, that is China, to get more aids. And
because it feels like it's a lot from China.
Sure, because there are no strings attached, like like what just happened between that and exactly World Bank. And of course, World Bank, you control
the biggest.
Exactly, the controls are. That is just it. It's an extension of the core, and Africa is the battleground.
Well, as long as Africa is impoverished and we're capping hands,
I said earlier,
we're members, but we're not contributing so much. We're the ones that are getting.
So you will be kept in a kind of slavery for certain purposes. So whenever they need us, they bring us out of the care to use us, they return us back. So until such a day when we say, we are free, and we look at our oppressor and say, and we can be on our own.
Well, that's a military junta is using now to think, why are we so poor when we have so much resources? But the fear is there's no guarantee that they're going to do anything different. It's judging from Baba in regard to Kaki.
Yes, the same people,
it continues.
the same society, the same beliefs. The difference is the mode of dressing.
Indeed. All right, so would prioritize diplomatic negotiation is what Tinubu is saying to ECOWAS leaders. I think he's listened to the cries, every hue and cry from everywhere to saying, do not...
So the hallmark of good leadership, having a listening ear.
Well, for him that we have a listening president, or boss generally.
Exactly.
Let's take a few before we go on the news break. Call us up on 000-951-0000, or you can call 809-74869, or call 0809-5974869. Call our WhatsApp number also. Hello.
Good afternoon, Dr. Kim.
Good afternoon.
I've been hearing both of your conversation.
Good to know.
How in Nigeria, you leave your place, you are now facing the problem of another country. Nigeria, they not best for them. How can a man, you leave a stick, lie, then you are going to another place to remove a little debt from his own. Our president should concentrate the problem. We have our problem here. People are here, there are no hunger everywhere. Everywhere. You are going to another place. If you don't know what to do, let him resign.
Okay, well, it hasn't got to that point, but given the ECOWAS meeting held today, we're going to engage. That's top priority before, like, not military engagement, dialogue, so that you don't misconstrue it. Before we think of any other. Turn off your radio, please.
Yes, it's Collection Bridge from Maitama.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. The best it's about change of garment or change of attire for some people. Yes. Remember, J.J. Rawlings changed the face of Ghana. He moved from military to civilian. That was what Abacha wanted to do. It was fought against. And Gaddafi, same thing. And it was...
Abacha was fought against. Abacha's opinion was a benevolent dictator. You see, I'm always in my tongue.
Abacha wanted to move from military, just what Gaddafi did, and just what J.J. Rawlings did. The idea is this: they have that strong tutorial mentality, can make discipline. That is what we did when Buhari came into thing. Everybody thought that he was going to military acumen to do it on issues on Nigeria, but we found out that it was it. Now, the same thing is happening in J.J. Rawlings, in the case of J.J. Rawlings. J.J. Rawlings was a military man, and he came in. God is today because of he did. So let's play a little, see where they are going towards.
All right.
Because if the military can change the Niger Republic, that's all I'm saying.
When you sound as if we've not experienced enough to know
exactly.
the power.
Niger witnessed a serious coup.
Exactly.
In
What
recent
changed?
history, nothing changed.
What changed? And then if you're talking about people will always be quick to look at Liku. He was a benevolent dictator. Thomas Sankara, before he was assassinated, he would have changed Burkina Faso. But I don't know about you, but I think we've had any benevolence to our dictatorship in Nigeria enough to even call that.
And I even want to serve the people should go process.
Go through the process.
Allowed by the...
If you want a democracy, go through democracy. What we should be pressing on is to ensure that rule of law.
And stability.
All right, let's go on a quick break for news, and we'll be back with more. It's 95.1 Nigeria Info might graciously still be around till 4, so please stick around.
I keep my side up so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. No more, no more. I keep my sunny side up so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. Yeah. Hey, pour me up some OA, have it fresh squeeze. I'll have some Pico and some Baileys. Make sure that it's on low. The top, let the top breathe. Gotta let the top breathe. Crack another egg on it. Me and you can make the best on it. Yeah, never seasons, always our timing. You can smell the good vibes rising. I keep my sunny side up so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. No more, no more. I keep my sunny side up so they can see me from above. It goes sweet like sugar, smooth like cream, warm like a steam. Isn't on my caffeine. Clear as a coupe, had to get you in loop. Cooking in the kitchen, all I really wanna do is crack another egg on it. Yeah, me and you make the best omelet. Never seasons, always our timing. You smell the good vibes rising. I keep my sunny side up so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. More running from the love. No more, no more. I keep my sunny side up so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. I keep my sunny side up. You keep your sunny side up. We keep our sunny side up.
Nothing breaks news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Fire from 5 to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Lee Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. It is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and they get differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
My name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Facts Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
With our president and deliberating on the best possible way to engage women and address the issue of Niger Republic, and has said that they're committed to democracy and to human rights issues, upholding it, that is, and we'll see what comes out of the meeting. We also get into other issues around it, looking at what the U.S. is saying about influence from China with the loans we get, analyzed also how it's a lot more easier to get China, and the fact that they don't wade into our politics and all of that comes to organizations where you have countries that have, personal ideology enough to say that if you're not in line with it, you might be denied setting privilege loan grant or financing. Well, ready to go, but let's hear more thought via telephone 700-951-0000, or you can call 089-597469. And WhatsApp number to call is 009-993037. Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay.
Kingsley calling.
Kingsley, we're listening.
Concerning this in Niger and them damning the country, even Bode or tomato to give them. What in Niger is a reflection of what is going on in Nigeria. It's supposed to be a fatherly role. Most of African countries are looking up, but Nigeria refuses to. What happened them this presidential election conducted? They saw how it went, and the beneficiary of ECOWAS. That's why they damn the consequence. They damn them. They don't want to relate to you because you cannot tell them to be Democrat, to have democracy. Why the benefit of election conducted in Nigeria instead of ECOWAS? This is what happened them, and they don't know what happened them. That is that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Hello.
Yes, sir, welcome.
Yeah, Kim, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. Well, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. This is Ojo, the next president.
Go ahead, Ojo, we're listening.
Yeah, thank you for what happened to you.
No, thank you.
The that you went in a hard way.
Yeah.
And put copy of your card document and your driving license.
Noted.
These days. So that admit that we have a good procedure. You're supposed to sue them for your time and wasting time too, because we have been waiting to hear.
That's why I had to tell you the whole story. Someone explaining too much, but I had to explain because it's the longest.
Yeah, the Association of Grand Listener, we follow the court for wasting our time too.
Do you have a president?
Yeah, sir, you are the president.
No. We spoke about legitimacy of power legitimacy. I've never been voted for.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, you are talking well, sir. Thank you. What we are seeing in Africa as a result of bad governance, and this is a Nigerian democratic that they must, a matter of necessity, try and enshrine good governance in our various countries, because it's going to be kind of a wasting of time for you to be in power and not taking the advantage or benefit of humanity. If you look at what is happening now, it will get to a point that we will not be able to do it again. So please let them that all these could be 4 or 5 countries in Africa, let them sit down and tell us the plain truth that these people must back home and allow their people to enjoy their governance.
Thank you very much. Let's hear one more and then introduce the third story.
Hello, Ken, my sister, sorry. My sister, how are you?
I'm fine and well. Good afternoon.
My name is Gbadebo.
Go ahead.
Sorry for what happened.
Thank you very much.
Something happened to me last week. I'm spending close to 15 naira in their hands. So, please, I want you to get this topic up again. So, as we, the listeners and brothers, and not info, and sisters, deliberate over it so that let's know if VIO and those states together. VIO will answer, those people say no. If the VIO will say no. Okay, I'm sorry for the... Now, let me come into that point.
We're listening. Go ahead, sir.
About invading or not invading Nigeria. My own opinion is ECOWAS don't invade Nigeria. Please, go ahead. Thank you.
Well, so far so good. They are not in that direction just yet. Going by the meet there, they said they're going to dialogue.
Exactly.
Dialogue. And dialogue fails, I want to believe, the last resort at this point in time. Depends on the conditions of dialogue anyway. Now, let me here. And, for a while we've been about Asari Dokubuko. We know they're setting individuals, non-state actors that are relevant. And I know that the height of the NLC protest, he was one who had his own just small protest. We support all of this. But people talked about it and paid attention to him as to what he's doing. And then this admission of having his own sort of military army, it doesn't look like address that episode just yet. Is it something to be really concerned about? The leader of the Niger Delta Salvation Force, as if giving permission, it will invade Niger, put his private army and restore democracy to the country. I want to believe he's just saying for relevance.
No, don't say.
Really?
He may not have the capacity, but we need to interrogate him.
What he's doing? Well, on July 20th, President Bazoum, there's no need to go through the detail anymore. In a viral video, he said he's capable of overrunning Niger Republic with his army. He said to do so by the Nigerian government. The government commissions me and my people to go to Niger Republic. We'll go. We'll defeat them and we'll come barriers. It is not a boast. If the public likes, let them go and bring anybody. They're human beings like us. We'll defeat them and restore democracy. He doesn't even know because it's happening. All right, it's happening in Niger, not Benin. But, when people start to make statements of this nature, sometimes I feel like, are we paying attention? And that's why you get people become larger than life. Nnamdi Kanu comes in where you can easily mobilize. The other guy of Yoruba Nation again, Igboho, comes and becomes larger than life. You have pocket of people, Shekau, mobilizing people and feeding them with theological belief, and they become so large than life. I don't know if it's in order to make these people in the same breath, but this is one individual who is not elected to any office, who is not appointed into any office, yet having, the audacity to things of this nature and a force that is not backed by any election that I'm aware of. When Amu was coming up, we had a national as to what law is backing it up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what should we do? People like this who, a little too big for their britches.
This is one of the disadvantages of democracy. Yes. When, for political correctness or reasons, you allow it to happen. Asari is currently a friend of the government. So that's why he can make such a statement, nothing will happen. And you ask yourself, for somebody who is saying he can invade a certain country with a trained army, with his own formerly army, probably, yes, I know he has experience in guerrilla warfare, given his experience as a Niger Delta militant leader. So you ask yourself, with which weapon? Does he have a catch of weapons somewhere in Nigeria?
Because the amnesty deal was for you to down weapons, but we're not going to play naive and pretend give everything.
Exactly. So, but nothing has happened to him. Nobody's interrogated. Nobody hasn't questioned because they've seen him with the incident. He's gone to Aso to greet the president. He came out, posed with the president photograph. In fact, in the few minutes after he addressed the state house correspondent that Nigerian military were responsible for 99% of oil theft, and nothing has happened to him. Nobody has called him to question. So that's his current. I said this is one of the disadvantages because it's a political era. He must done something for them electoral. So they have to pay him back by indulging him. Did you get that?
Yeah.
They have to pay him by indulging him. Democracy. Some persons will say the rule of the fool. Democracy. That's democracy. But that's a very serious statement.
It is, actually, because, when I was thinking about us as a country, if someone can be bold enough to say, send me and my
you ask, the question is
country,
who is
it means that the day the country offends you, you're well armed to dealing with internally with the country.
It's another version of the group in Nigeria. Military contractors, maybe it's one, I don't know his firm, whether it's registered, I don't know his whether they are formally trained to handle weapons. I don't know.
That People's Salvation Force.
Yeah, it registered. I don't know where his armory is. Where he's kept his ass. Where's his weapon from? Is that weapon importation to Nigeria allowed by non-state actors. You know the questions. But I told you earlier, this is one of the disadvantages of democracy. You reach all manners of people who have helped you to nation. So you have to pray them as your friends.
Is it a democracy all over the world, or a democracy in Nigeria, perhaps some part of Africa?
Exactly, yes. Yes. Our own type of democracy. Let me be specific. Our own type of democracy.
Because, I mean, aside from Irish group who calling for something else that they could speak, you can't hear groups just come out saying, I have my force.
As an example, this guy made a very serious allegation against the Nigerian armed forces that they were responsible for 99% of oil theft. He has never appeared before any panel to substantiate a very, very serious against the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What does that tell you? It could be true. It could be false. So see why we are where we are.
Well, we need to start to pay attention to setting power become a little too big for the system. We have too many powerful individuals in Nigeria with a very weak system.
Weaker institutions every day.
We should check. I mean, it might be our undoing if we don't self-correct some of these things going on. Let's hear a few of your thoughts. 0700 910000.
Good afternoon, Madam King.
Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bode. Only from Wuse Sonse.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Don't ask for a version of military action in the day. To my own candidate, they are not doing anything. They are doing that. Maybe if it happen like that, it will happen in Nigeria. Don't forget that after election, some group of many people to me begging them that they should come and take over. But Madam Kim asked from last week, and I will ask it again. We are all grown up 1980 to 1999. We tell us the gruesome words of military than what we are having today. Is democracy not better than what we face in 1999? I pity journalists. The journalists I pity most. Because by the time these people come, but what you people don't like, you people will talk and they will get many of it.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your concern. You might want to worry about yourself. We disputed that. Not now, not ever. Thank you very much. Hello. Okay, we're taking more calls. Hello. Afternoon. Your connection is there. Sorry, please call back. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, what's your name?
I'm Clement, calling from Suleja.
Go ahead.
Please, I just want to make some correction. This second to the last caller that called, what day or last day or something. Just please help me to advise you to mind it.
What is it about said? Okay, we'd have to go. He's entitled to his opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, what's your name? Good afternoon. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, yes. I'm the Ben speaking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I'm, going direct to Asare Dokubo. You understand? This is how things start to go wrong. And so there are some certain things experiences. Because I can remember last time somebody called to cop up or to defend him and he was arrested for so. Yes, what is good for them, also is good. We should start to tackle some problems for the Israelis. Aside of Kubo, one day, decide to do like a Russian man. You understand? That challenges the planes of Russia. So it's something we should start to look into and answer the problem. But it can go wrong.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Comrade Salis on the line.
Comrades are listening. Go ahead, sir.
The best civilian role in the world, in the Western world, is the best. But the best role in Africa is the best. So why? When I look at the strategies of the military Africa, they are the one nation of Africa. In Nigeria, the refinery was built by government. In Nigeria, the Lagos built by military government. Abuja was built by military government. I understand anybody jail that is open now built by military government. What the civilians come and do? Only to establish and build a stadium and a contract from local Abuja for how many years now? He never did it. What they have done that the military is doing in Nigeria. People are killing people in the...
All right, thank you very much. But you did not also highlight some of the benefit of having a democracy, the liberty to an extent that the democracy calls that you can't argue.
Which about exercise.
Exactly.
You can say mind.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's go on a very break. After I read one or two messages, I'll be back to the show. Dear Key, let me clear host. What Asari is doing is not a stage of democracy. Otherwise, we would have seen this in other democracies. It's a Nigerian thing. Not being able to establish democracy in Nigeria, as we talk democracy with outrightly and openly manipulated elections. Civilian dictators perhaps works in American area too.
I was like, well, it's some type of
1 minute.
democracy.
Let's go to break.
Launched a branch at Primus Mall, first new Guarimpa to cater for cost within Life Camp.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Well, that's how Mohammed says it. Good afternoon. My name is Manuel from Apo. When the military took over, our refineries were working and they stopped working. All right, with development. And mommy David King from POE, all these people claiming they will go and defeat me and restore democracy. How many Boko Haram band unknown gunmen are they defeated in Nigeria? The word of Asari Koba should not be taken lightly by the Nigerian government. It hits people on the Abuja Kaduna road, making some very loud claims, as it were. And we all seem to be very quiet about it. All right, we'll go on a break and we'll wrap up the show. Stay with 95.9 Nigeria Info.